First of all, the story is adapted from a concept that has been done before. But I have taken that concept and turned it around into a situation in Sri Lanka. I wrote the script and it was sent to Hollywood, and Sir Ben Kingsley read the script and he said he wants to do it. So we have a co-production between Hollywood and Sri Lanka. And it's a rare opportunity for Sri Lanka because it's the first time we're having the opportunity to direct Hollywood actors. The cast consists of Sir Ben Kingsley, Ben Cross, and several other actors from Hollywood, who not names, but they're very good actors from Hollywood. So we've had the good fortune of being able to make the whole picture within 27 days, shot entirely in Colombo.
Can you just tell us what the movie is all about?
Okay, it's about a man who has reached his limit, and the idea is that everybody has a certain limit, right? So he has reached his limit, and he's very frustrated about the situation in the world with regard to terrorism and the eradication of terrorism. And he takes matters into his hands and makes an attempt to make a statement. I don't go further on the plot because it's only good.
And you have worked with well-known Hollywood actors in the past, for example, somebody like Steven Spielberg. How is it working with somebody like Sir Ben Kingsley?
Well, the difference is, when you say I worked with Steven Spielberg, George Lucas, Harrison Ford, and so on and so forth, I worked with them in the sense I was facilitating them. My company, Film Location Services, which is 30 years old, has been facilitating these big companies, big directors, big actors. But this is a very rare occasion when I am directing them. So it's not a matter of just facilitating them. I'm involved in directing their performance. So it's completely different. So I would say that this is my first opportunity to do this, and I'm enjoying it, and it seems to be going very well.
Are you looking at more Hollywood movies being shot in Sri Lanka in the future now?
Absolutely. I think the end of the war obviously opens doors, and we are getting to be known as a very good location. And more than that, I think we should, filmmakers of Sri Lanka must look towards the world, not just regional, not just domestic consumption. I think the time has come for us to show what we could do. I mean, we have been providing services for major Hollywood pictures, and we were able to give them, facilitate their productions, line produce their productions. So why can't we line produce and facilitate our own productions and address it to the international market?
How do Hollywood actors see Sri Lanka now as a good film location now that the war has ended? Is it easy to attract these Hollywood actors and actresses to come to Sri Lanka to film?
Well, first of all, it's not a matter of attracting the actors. We have to attract the producers and directors, and they will obviously get the services of the actors. So yes, we are in a position since the war ended. Well, even during the war we've been doing this. I mean, Steven Spielberg came in 1983. Even from 1983 till now, we have been making movies. We made Mother Teresa with Geraldine Chaplin. We've been continuously making movies, even during the war. But now that the war is over, there'll be an abundance of films that will come to Sri Lanka.
Just a little bit about yourself. You've been in the film industry for years. How did you start? I mean, what motivated you to get into the film industry?
Well, I've always been interested in films, and since when I was 16 years old, I worked on a film called The Bridge on the River Kwai. and I shouldn't have said that, but that really dates me. Okay. Anyway, so when we did that film, I had the lust for glamour and Hollywood. So I went with that team. I went to London, worked in London, and then I went to Hollywood, and I was there for about 35 years.
In Sri Lanka, more than the Hollywood name, Bollywood is more in fashion, if I can say. Are you looking at probably even making Bollywood movies in the future in this country?
Well, up to now we have done some Bollywood films. We did the film Ready with Salman Khan very recently. We've worked with Ram Gopal Varma, and there's a lot of films being made here. But actually, what they come here for are for the scenery, like the song and dance sequences. They will do one of those sequences here, and I think that we should go a little further and attract them to do their whole movie here. So we're working on that.
Tell us a little bit about the Sri Lankan film industry. I mean, what are the tips or what are the advice you can give to improve it now that Sri Lanka is back on track with the end of the war?
Well, our industry, you know, the singular film definitely has a small marketplace for a single film. Unless it is exceptional, then you can subtitle it and sell it to the world. But we have not been fortunate enough to do that. I would say that we should think of the international audience as well when we do a local film. I was fortunate in doing The Road from Elephant Pass from Neil De Silva's best-selling novel. Now, that had some significance because the world was looking at the war situation, and this was about the war situation. So that brought in a market for me outside Sri Lanka. So we had to pick the subjects, you know, carefully and have the international viewers in mind. I would say that that's a step we have to take.
In the future, is there a mix which we will see of Hollywood actors, you know, mixing with our Sinhalese actors in some of the movies which you will be directing and producing in the country in the future?
Absolutely. Well, we are doing that with this particular film, The Common Man. Hollywood actors, Sri Lankan actors. We had Veena Jayakodi, we had Sando Harris, we had I don't want to miss names. I shouldn't have started with the names. Anyway, we have numerous players in the movie, you know, and I think that should be the trend. We should mount Hollywood pictures here and have our stars also get involved in the productions. It'll come to that soon.